Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 262 based on novel. So let's start. In the desolate regions of Yangji main continent, there was an ancient palace that lay amidst endless ice mountains. No one knew when it was built, however it had become Purple Sky Emperor of the demon race's territory. The captain's mood hasn't been too good recently. I just heard her scolding the vice captain earlier. We've been on the Yangji main continent for close to 10,000 years, and yet I've never seen her so troubled. Right, however I heard that she's this troubled because of a human genius. Really? I'm not sure, I just heard that. Two demon undyings in their puppet bodies were discussing secretly. They were both members of the renowned Purple Sky team of Yangji main continent. Purple Sky team. It was one of the teams that was well known, and its captain Purple Sky Emperor was an emperor undying of the demon race, who had the ability to teleport. The vice captain was also a low-level emperor, and almost all of the other members were pinnacle official. The weakest was at high-level official level. Such a team, naturally it was renowned within the main continent. Even though it was powerful, it couldn't be called invincible. Within the depths of the palace, a lady with an incredibly beautiful fox head wore a black robe. Her puppet body wasn't too different from her real body, her expression and gaze were also incredibly alluring. Bastard. Applause that bastard, he actually dares to provoke me. The wolf-head lady was incredibly angry. Luckily the upper echelon are wise, can they blame me? It's been a year since I got the mission and none of the members in the entire Demon Alliance in Yangji continent have even seen the human sector lord. If they can't even find him, how will I kill him? How will I do it? Applause, he dares to call me useless. Can they blame me? This idiot is definitely enticed by the contribution points. By killing a human sector lord whose points given were akin to an emperor, it's hard to blame him. It's a pity that you won't get it, idiot. Purple Sky Emperor cursed. Within, she was sullen. Even though she was an emperor with teleportation, normally official and emperor levels all had undying bodies. With her ability, she could at most kill a pinnacle official. As for emperor warriors, there wasn't a single emperor on the entire Yangji continent that could have a 100% guarantee of killing one. A low-level emperor was incredibly hard to kill. A high-level emperor was naturally even harder. Hence, to kill a human sector lord and still get points akin to an emperor, this was naturally incredibly lucrative. Her close to 10,000 years of points probably didn't even add up to a tenth of this mission. Hence when she got the mission, she was extremely excited. One had to know that even though they were on Yangji main continent, the demon race had only 2 emperors. However, there were a total of 329 emperors in the Demon Alliance. The demon race had a lot of subservient races after all. Along with some others that weren't subservient, but those who come along form a distant location to be part of the demon race to take part in the outer region wars added up to the 329 emperors on the main continent under the Demon Alliance. This mission was one that everybody eyed. However, the internal department of the demons naturally passed off such missions to their own. Since Purple Sky Emperor had teleportation, hence she got the job. Back then, it had made many others jealous, but it was useless as this was an order from the top. Purple Sky was very happy, she couldn't wait to go kill the human sector lord. All of the members in the Demon Alliance on Yangji continent were given the order to immediately report if they discovered the human sector lord with strength akin to an official. The moment they determined the location, Purple Sky Emperor would immediately teleport over. 1 or 2 light years of distance was very easy to teleport to. It could be said that the entirety of Yangji main continent was within her teleportation range. She could instantly reach any location within the continent. The moment she got a report, she would immediately teleport over to kill the human sector lord and acquire the huge amount of points. What a simple job. Useless. The information department sure is lousy. It's been a year and no reports have come over, no one has even discovered the human sector lord. She raged within. Being able to see the prize and yet not get it was hard to swallow. The upper echelon gave her the opportunity to get so many points and yet there hadn't been a single report. Human sector lord. I don't believe that you'll stay hidden forever. Our Demon Alliance takes up a quarter of the main continent. Hence, I don't believe no one will bump into you. As long as you reveal yourself, you'll be dead. Dead. Purple Sky grit her teeth. She was waiting in anticipation while not knowing when it would happen was hard to bear. At this time, Luo Feng didn't even know he had become an important target for the demon race. Die? A glaring silver flash slashed past the air above the ocean. The space was instantly torn apart as a Milky Way covered the skies. The short half-a-meter-tall other race Undying was instantly slashed in two. He was still relaxed before, but after reforming, he was filled with fear and shock as he discovered he lost 18% of his Undying body. How can this be? How can this be? The official Undying was extremely shocked. A few more silver slashes, the Undying couldn't even escape, only managing to self-destruct at the last moment. The battle had ended. Amidst the ripples, Luo Feng floated in space, a black pair of wings flapping behind him. Undying bodies are sure hard to kill. The first time I came to Yangji main continent, the Earth body had hurt the Wei Yi Undyings. That was truly lucky. Those two Undying bodies were probably still very weak and new. Now, however, I am coming across the stronger basic officials, and I'm unable to hurt them relying on my blade alone. Luo Feng shook his head. Using my blade is ineffective against them. I have to rely on the Showu wings. The Showu wings sure are powerful. Even though the Earth body is much weaker and can only trigger a pitiful amount of its space energy, I am still able to kill a low-level official already. Time to leave. Luo Feng collected the goods and sat in his ship, leaving far from the battlefield. Within the ship, Luo Feng sat in the control room. Same old rules applied. He closed off his first device's jamming abilities and using his second device normally. The Showu wings sure are useful. With it, the Earth body that could only kill an Undying general before can now kill a low-level official. And the Golden Horned Beast can kill a pinnacle official. And the wings also make the enemies unable to sense my power level accurately. He laughed happily. When he first came to the main continent, clashing with the Gold Fear Demon and Wei Yi Undyings, Luo Feng realized a problem. There were too many powerful warriors on the main continent, totally unlike Fog Island. There, a low official can become a tyrant, with only 10 or so of them. In this main continent, however, I heard there are over 1,000 emperors. These were facts. Even though the humans only had 3 emperors on the main continent. However, there were many other subservient races under humanity and its alliances. Together, they had a few hundred emperors. After all, this included tens of thousands of races. With 1 emperor for every 10 races on the main continent, this made the number of emperors very high. In total, the main continent had over 1,000 emperors. Naturally, compared to the large amounts of generals and officials, the emperor numbers were incredibly pitiful. There are many powerful warriors on Yangji continent. I could still mess around on Fog Island, however on the main continent, battling over and over with official pinnacles with the chance of meeting a low emperor. This could result in the other races targeting me. Teacher had warned me of this before. What can I do? Luo Feng had pondered back then. He quickly came up with an idea. The Showu wings. The wings were a true treasure, and when used on the Golden Horned Beast, it completely hid the beast's energy levels. The natural pressure it released made the enemy think it was a powerful warrior. One theory was, the wings on the Earth body could naturally hide his energy. I'm so smart. Combining the Earth body with the wings and controlling the pressure released, acting as a pinnacle official. The Golden Horned Beast with the wings can release more strength. That way, a pinnacle official human becomes extremely normal here. Luo Feng was very happy. After which, he acted according to his plan. Exploring the main continent, the beast and his human body would never appear simultaneously. Some battles were for his Earth body to train, and the beast would never reveal itself unless an unexpected danger presented itself. These battles were for him to work on his blade work and study moon policy. During some other battles, the human body wouldn't even show himself, and used the Golden Horned Beast from the beginning combined with the Showu wings. These battles were mainly for accumulating contribution points. After all, the efficiency of the beast in collecting points was much higher. These were the 2 types of battles. One was for training and the other was for points. Luo Feng was having a blast on the main continent. It had been a year since his battle with the Wei Yi Undyings. There had been 6 battles and he had encountered 10 other Undyings. During which, he used his Earth body to battle 3 of them and 3 for the Golden Horned Beast. He killed a total of 5 officials and 3 generals. The efficiency was very high. A low official is not even worth me training my blade work. I have to find powerful warriors, like a high official to give me a good challenge. Luo Feng was very excited. Battling the many other races along with their many techniques and methods gave him an excitement from the hunt. Time passed, and in the blink of an eye, Luo Feng had been on the Yangji main continent for 3 years now. He had had a very fulfilling 3 years, battling and training as he improved. Most of his time was spent studying the battles, laws and beast god presence, while studying his techniques and so on. He had a total of 15 battles over these 3 years, killing 22 official undyings and 19 generals, of which 18 officials and 13 generals were killed by the golden horned beast, while the human body only killed 4 officials and 9 generals. He had relied on the Shou wings to kill the officials. This made Luo Feng feel that he was still very weak. Even though his comprehension speed was fast, having only trained for a few thousand years, the other primal region sector lords couldn't hold a candle to his efficiency. However, those that had trained for up to 1,000,000 years were close to his level of comprehension. They were all official level standard. And the top 23 were close to emperor level standard. The top few all had comprehension levels reaching the 18th level of the heavenly bridge. However, they were all still extremely far from Kudiai's level. As the law comprehension got harder and harder the more one trained, True Yang was stuck on the 20th level, spending trillions of years and yet still being unable to pass the 21st level. The levels towards the end were much harder. Breaking through from the 18th to the 19th was almost akin to the difficulty of the 1st to 18th levels added together. The difficulty compounded as it grew. Hence, even though the 18th to the 20th may seem short, almost every generation of primal region sector lords all reached the 18th. However, to reach the 20th, it probably took 10 million eras for one. These 3 years, Luo Feng had made a name for himself. The golden horned beast had killed pinnacle officials. Even though only 2 out of the 18 were pinnacle officials, the name of the beast had spread wide. After all, many of the 18 were high officials. This was something only a high-level emperor could do. The strong were numerous on the main continent with countless races, yet there were only over 1,000 emperors. Every one of them had their own reputation. The golden horned beast always appeared as the silver beast, and since its winged attacks were terrifying, naturally it got the nickname Silver-Winged Emperor. As for the Earth body, he was considered a very normal standard on the main continent. Naturally it didn't attract any attention. The 4th year Luo Feng was on the main continent within the Automaton virtual base. Ciweka. In the streets, a tall automaton youth suddenly shouted, "Senior!" His body was mainly silver, and there was some gold at its waist and shoulder areas. From a glance, it looked like a handsome alloy automaton youth was lowering its head in respect. "Ciweka, how are your gains in the outer region wars?" The tall youth smiled and asked. "I've already completed 51.2% of the Master's mission. I'm currently in the 7th battlefield's Yangji main continent. There are many other powerful warriors here. My efficiency will keep rising. Killing over 1,000 more almost official levels will probably help me accomplish the goal." The handsome youth smiled. The automaton race had very unique differences from the other races because every one of them were born as living AIS. They were born recognizing their master. Within the race, a knight would naturally make some undyings recognize it as their master. The powerful leader of the automaton race, who was comparable to the primal Chaos City leader, would naturally make some knights recognize it as their master. These processes were carried out much earlier. Unless their strengths were to someday exceed their masters, only then would the master remove the binding. If not, they were bound by their roles forever. The entire automaton race had this pyramid hierarchy. One universe master controlled large amount of knights. The knights controlled even more undyings. They had emotions. They could feel rage, jealousy, excited, happiness and so on. However, the master binding was something within their core. The moment their masters were picked, they would definitely abide by them, without a single thought of betrayal. While they may feel jealous of some other comrades, they would remain completely loyal to their master. The pyramid hierarchy ruled all. This was the automaton race, a definite level of strictness without even a single thought of betrayal. This was a terrifying race. Completed 51.2%? Ciweka, you sure are exceptional. It's no wonder the master pampers you. The tall youth laughed oddly. My debt to the master, I will naturally give it my all in return. The handsome youth remained humble, maintaining his respect. Very good, keep up the good work, hurry and become an emperor. The tall youth ordered. Yes, senior, I will definitely work hard and learn from you. The handsome youth lowered his head. The tall automaton youth replied, leaving the youth Ciweka alone after. Inside, however, he was indignant. HMPH, isn't he just a weak ship-living AI that accompanied the Master back then, having life-or-death experiences with the Master? Now he's only an official pinnacle, yet the Master pampers him more than me. HMPH, if the Master hadn't helped you out that much, how could you kill so many officials? You make it sound so easy, finishing your mission after killing another 1,000 or so more. HMPH, let's hope you fall in the battlefield. The handsome youth glanced at his senior, leaving, his eyes gleaming coldly. These followers the Master collected, especially the Emperors, they are all stronger than me and give me guidance. But what a bunch of idiots. When I was going through life or death situations with the Master, where were you all? HMPH, you are jealous of the relationship I have with the Master? If it weren't for the race rules, forcing me to show respect to the higher level comrades, I wouldn't even be bothered with you all. CIWKA was unsatisfied within. He looked down on these Emperors. The Master treated him like a brother, why would he bother with the Emperors? I can meet the Master and report straight to him. These punks, they probably have to wait just to meet the Master. CIWKA rubbed his nose and looked up, heading towards where his Master was. The virtual world created by the Automaton race could spread within a star region. Hence every one of the hundreds of regions the race had, they each had one virtual world. Even though they were scattered in different regions, everyone was able to communicate with the main base. With that as the main coordinator, naturally, this was all very complicated, and the normal Automaton warriors didn't have the right to enter. CIWKA, through the special virtual world set up in the outer region wars by the Automaton race, he could use his consciousness to enter the main base. Only then could it communicate with his Master. The Automaton virtual main base was called Indigo World. A pyramid ship flew in the air above Yangji main continent. The Automaton youth dressed in his jade green armor opened his eyes and smiled. The Master treats me well. I only have to complete 80% of the mission for him to give me a treasure. If the other jealous seniors knew about this, they would probably erupt in rage. However, so what? Idiots. Even though in terms of strength alone, I cannot match them. However, in true battle, our Automaton race is after all known for its usage of treasures and methods. With the many treasures and trump cards the Master gave me, I can even deal with Emperors. If forced into a corner, I can even harm a pinnacle Emperor. CIWKA was that confident. Because he had killed many officials these past years, he naturally formed a sense of confidence from his experience. This human sector lord, scanning device, project. CIWKA ordered. Immediately, he could see the 3D image projected, and in it was a black armored human sector lord seated there cross-legged. Human sector lord? Yangji main continent actually has a human sector lord? He rubbed his alloy nose, frowning. His scanning device is pretty advanced, even only the pinnacle officials of our race will have such a device. If it's the other races, normally only Emperors would have such. A weak human sector lord actually has such an advanced device. Luckily, my device was given to me from my Master. It's much more advanced than even the Emperors of our Automaton race. CIWKA slapped his alloy chair, standing up. This punk is still training, he hasn't detected me, his background must be huge. He may have special human treasures on him. And he may very likely be an absolute genius of humanity. Even if that is not the case, his background alone must be huge. However, the bigger the better, that means his wealth would be even more shocking. The more of a genius he is, the higher the contribution points will be. His eyes gleamed. Other race warriors didn't care about their backgrounds at all. Get close. I want to kill this human sector lord. CIWKA ordered. The low-cost pyramid ship immediately headed to where Luo Feng was training. There was a saying, walking alongside the river for long periods of time, how could one's shoes not get wet? Luo Feng had relied on his scanning device to fight whoever he wanted these past 3 years, jamming whoever he didn't want to fight. However, when the enemy's device was more advanced than his, that power naturally belonged to the enemy. At this time, Luo Feng didn't even know about the danger, and part of his consciousnus was in the virtual universe. Virtual universe, Black Dragon Mountain, 9-star bay, within his residence, a private movie hall. Luo Feng and Xu Xin were enjoying a movie. There were just the two of them. This is much better than the movies of Earth, Xu Xin said softly. Luo Feng held his wife's hand and smiled. The geniuses of the universe creating movies, whether it's the storyline or the virtual effects etc., they are all much more exciting. Naturally it gives a more thrilling experience. The couple chatted softly while watching. This was their way of maintaining their relationship. Luo Feng's expression suddenly changed. "What's the matter?" Shushin was shocked. "Sorry, my wife." Luo Feng smiled apologetically and vanished, returning to reality. He had encountered a dangerous situation. Shushin suddenly stood up, nervous. She knew Luo Feng was in the outer region wars. Naturally she was incredibly worried. Yangji main continent, within an ancient underground palace. The walls of this palace had ancient sacrificial pictures, and they had faint law ripples. Over trillions of years, they had yet to be fully destroyed. Luo Feng was shocked when he first saw them. Who knew what life forms lived here countless years ago? He sat cross-legged in the palace. Suddenly, rumble. 9 light pillars simultaneously pierced through the thick stone layer, hitting the palace directly. The brute force of the lasers instantly broke apart the palace. Even the space around was ripped apart as large amount of rubble flew about. Luo Feng only awoke when the 9 pillars were hit. Not good. Black armor extended over his body, protecting his entire body as he swiftly lifted the beast god shield. A powerful glaring beam of light rippled onto Luo Feng as it shot through the palace. The power of the lasers were already reduced by half after piercing through the stone layer. Its first hit was on Luo Feng's beast god shield, allowing him to dodge in time. Darkness ensued, the underground palace crumbled. Luo Feng flew backwards too. Where is it from? Luo Feng immediately adjusted and flew through the torn space. Hua-la-la. He pierced through the deep caves and surfacing out of the cave. He looked up and was shocked. In all directions, there were a total of 9 pyramid ships. It was clear from their positions that the 9 laser beams were shot from these 9 ships. Automaton ships? Luo Feng frowned. Automaton ships, Barbata, can the scanning device detect these 9 ships? Luo Feng, the scanners are unable to determine the target. They are probably totally jammed. The enemy has a more advanced scanner than ours. Barbata communicated mentally back, someone with a device more advanced than ours. Luo Feng, you need to be very careful, his strength could very likely be Emperor level. Luo Feng was very calm. Luo Feng could tell from the surface energy barriers of the 9 pyramid ships that every one of them was much more expensive than his Yunmo planet ship. Where is he from? Luo Feng was shocked. Just these 9 ships are all better than my Yunmo planet ship. From the feel of it, the energy barriers are very strong. Maybe only if I let the golden horned beast out will I be able to harm the 9 ships. Strong warrior. A true strong warrior of the automaton race. This wasn't the same automaton warrior that went after the same treasure as Hu Yangbo, that Undying back then was only at general level. He wasn't that powerful, and his ship was only a pinnacle E grade. How could it compare to this warrior that could so easily brandish 9 extremely expensive pyramid ships? Bastard, I can't find a trace of him. Luo Feng was worried. This was the first time he had the taste of having an opponent with a better scanning device than himself. He had always toyed with the other opponents before, fighting and fleeing as he felt like. Now that power was completely in the hands of the enemy. Luo Feng paused for a short 0.01 seconds in mid-air before swiftly fleeing. Little punk, trying to flee? Ha ha ha, toying with a human sector lord that dared to come to the main continent sure is fun. Millions of kilometers away from Luo Feng, Ci Wei Ka watched the scene in his control room with interest. When Luo Feng tried to flee, he instantly ordered, attack. The 9 dormant ships suddenly rumbled and their bottom parts tore open, revealing a few 100-meter wide cabin doors. Almost like locusts flying out, black automaton puppets shot out like lightning. The 9 ships simultaneously shot out large amounts of black puppets. Theoretically, these 9 ships were all 800-meter tall, and with the engine within the ship, it was unable to fit too many puppets. However, at this moment, they flew out continuously. Almost in a blink of an eye, over 1 million black puppets had flown out of each ship. 9 million! Looking at the 9 directions, a blur of countless black puppets covered the skies. Luo Feng was stunned. These puppets were all 10-meter tall, and completely black. They carried axes, blades etc. on their backs, all sorts of weapons. Just where is this guy from? This is too absurd. 9 million F9 grade puppets, and every one of them is completely made of F9 grade metal black swan essence. Even if the costs are economized, every one of them is still made of so much metal, a single one alone should be worth 10 mixed elements. 9 million would be 90 million mixed elements. Spending such a huge fortune to buy a sea of puppets, this is too extravagant. Just where is this guy from? There was a saying that a sharp blade worked better. Similarly, 90 million mixed elements worth of wealth would do better being spent on precious treasures or weapons. But for 90 million puppets? Truly controlling each with precision, normally 1 million was the limit, and any more would definitely be a waste. The 9 ships that shot out 1 million F9 puppets each. The closest one to Luo Feng had its puppets simultaneously gather energy within their chests. Rumble. 1 million light beams shot at Luo Feng. They formed a huge 100-meter in diameter pillar of light. Luo Feng wielded the beast god shield and swiftly dodged. 9 ships took turns to gather energy and attack in turns. As the distance got closer, from the third attack on, Luo Feng was unable to dodge no matter how fast he was. He could only rely on the beast god shield and his soldier armor to defend, blocking the terrifying attacks. Luo Feng immediately unleashed his movement techniques, flying straight towards a group of the puppets. The puppets, however, dispersed simultaneously. The other 8 armies pressed in close. No matter how he escaped, the 9 groups all maintained a suitable distance. Whichever way he fled, the army there would disperse and the others would close in. As such, Luo Feng was trapped. Bastard. This too vulgar. Luo Feng was worried. The distance between him and the armies allowed them to hit him over and over. He actually consecutively blocked 20 of my energy attacks. Every one of them is akin to full blast from a pinnacle official. Ci-Wei, who was controlling the puppets from a distance, was stunned. This human sector lord sure isn't ordinary. The shield he uses to deflect my attacks is completely undamaged, it even disperses a large amount of the force, hee. Begin the 3-army combined attacks. Ci-Wei ordered casually. When the 9 armies began surrounding Luo Feng, they attacked in turns one by one. Luo Feng was unable to escape and was trapped. After withstanding 20 attacks, the 9 armies began to combine 3 armies together and attack. The force of the attack was too huge. Actually, this was probably the limit of the 9 armies. After all, they were all in different positions, they could only at most gather 3 armies to attack at once. However, Luo Feng once again withstood the attacks. Trigger the energy. Flame simulation, trap formation. Ci-Wei ordered again. Even a true pinnacle official would be trapped, much less this punk. To waste so much of my energy, you should be proud. The originally countless dumb automaton puppets instantly lit up with a glaring red light. The powerful energies of the 90 million puppets made Luo Feng's expression change. What powerful energy? These aren't cheap metal lumps, and their energy cores are very advanced. Just one of them alone would be worth a few hundred mixed elements. Altogether, this will be, at least a few billion mixed elements. Luo Feng was stunned. Passing the Domain Lord Primal Region's Sky Mountain before and getting 3 billion points in reward, he had thought was already very impressive. However, the scene before him. 90 million F9 grade puppets, and every one of them was highly advanced, and they were not simply metal lumps. Just like back when he was in Taiwo and Poison's team, being attacked by the automaton warrior before, the enemy simply used puppets that had simple cores that relied on the thunder hell for energy. Compared to these 90 million, they were pitiful. Spending billions of mixed elements so easily? Luo Feng was stunned. He understood too, since he's poured so much wealth into it, these 9 armies definitely have more than simple combined attacks. 900 puppets burned with flames on their surface. Hua! They gathered as one, all of them brandished the weapons from their bag, be it axes, blades, etc. Suddenly one army of the 9 had its puppets all rush straight at Luo Feng with their weapons. The flame energy passed through their blades and swiftly formed a huge red beam of light, rushing at Luo Feng. 1 million red lights gathered as one, shooting from all directions. It formed a net-like structure, stretching around Luo Feng. Terrifying. Luo Feng shuddered within, clearly feeling the countless red light net surrounding him. He couldn't match its strength. If he fought back, he would be trapped and wouldn't be able to escape. This was what he felt. Rumble. Luo Feng vanished. How? A huge silver-winged beast appeared in mid-air, a terrifying pressure emanating throughout. This scene caused the distant Ci-Wei to change his expression. Silver Wing Emperor? This human sector lord is actually a puppet controlled by the Silver Wing Emperor? Or is this emperor his guardian? This video will end here. Thank you for watching.